Hello there, and welcome to this Roll for Crit coverage of Gen Con 2021. Now, we are putting this both as a podcast and video, and regardless of how you're joining us, thank you for joining us.
Yes, you might be listening to this or you might be watching it on YouTube. Either way, we are putting together this special video specifically to talk about Fantasy Flight's in-flight report, which took place online. They streamed it tonight, as of this recording, the night before Gen Con. Well, we have just spent 12 hours or so in a car getting here. So we rushed to watch parts of the video as well as read their summary article to get a feel for what's going on from the world of Fantasy Flight. And while they are not at Gen Con physically, they still decided we need to have some big announcements. I guess they want to show everybody up. So we're going to go through each new thing, I think, just in the order they've put in their summary on the website and just kind of talk about our thoughts on it.
Yeah.
All right, great. So thank you for joining us. And you know, this is Roll for Crit nights. This is the casual Roll for Crit. this is
the casual set.
Yeah. All right. So we will begin. They talked about, of course, Descent, Legends of the Dark, which just released, and I guess they're now branding all that stuff as Terranoth Legends.
Yeah, that was already. I'm pretty sure the name of
Terranoth was the name of the universe, the region that took place in.
In terms of actual products, the thing they really mentioned was a sort of side story campaign called Ghosts of Greyhaven. To me, this sounded similar to what they've done with Lord of the Rings, which, you know...
Which Lord of the Rings?
Sorry, Journeys in Middle-earth.
Okay.
Which had a couple new minis and side quests, but it's not a, next chapter. And like I said, Act 2 is still in the works. I will point out that with the rebranding of the name, though, that would imply that maybe we could see the card game maybe get a refresher.
Right. So, yeah, I imagine if they came up with a Terranoth Legends brand, they must have plans for something other than Descent in this universe.
One would hope.
Yeah, otherwise it's a little bit weird. And yeah, it's interesting, this expansion, the Ghosts of Greyhaven, they said you can play it standalone. I don't know if that means... I assume you still need the base game, but it doesn't have to be part of your campaign, or you could just mix it into your Act 1 campaign. So I don't know if it will tell you when you start and oh, now that's going to be thrown in, and the app will tell you where it comes. I wonder how that works, what it means for the story.
I don't think in our Journeys in Middle-earth we hit the expansion.
So you're talking about the second edition right now.
Yes.
No. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
I was thinking Journeys in the Dark. It's very confusing with all these different names.
But I imagine that's how it's going to work. It's going to be something similar. Arkham has these same things, which we will talk about a little bit later, where it's inserts and it gives maybe some extra little side lore and some other little goodies.
So that's cool. So, more of that coming on the way. Of course, they talked about KeyForge, the Winds of Exchange expansion. We kind of talked about some of this on our previous podcast. I was about to say last week's, but it actually went out yesterday. Time has no meaning anymore. And they mentioned the new faction that's going to be in this game, which is called Compacts of Equidon. But they said they're like merchants and traders, but they didn't show any of the cards. They didn't really talk about the mechanics. They mentioned that Mars is coming back, but
they did say they have a theme of trade exchange, so I'm guessing they might have some things of give this card to your opponent to take amber from them or something like that. So that would be my guess off the bat.
I would love it if it was something really weird, like you offer your opponent something like, hey, will you accept, I get a key, but you get to play a new card or something like that. More deals you could make.
That sounds better than what went in my head, because I think of a Magic where you play a lot of bad cards, but then you give them to your opponents.
Who knows? It could go a lot of different ways. So Winds of Exchange, that's coming at some point. Now Arkham Horror, the card game they talked about.
There's a new scenario pack. This one is titled The Machinations Through Time. This is part of their Gen Con packs. If you don't know, this is, I think, the third iteration of them, where unlike some other scenario packs where they're sort of just an interesting side scenario, these are designed so that you can have a lot of people playing them, different groups. The idea behind this one is you are traveling through different periods of time within Arkham. So some of you may be in the 1920s, some of you will be earlier in the 1800s, some of you will be in 1950s.
I love that.
Yes.
I think that's fun.
I didn't think they went far enough.
You want 90s?
Honestly, just in general, I think Arkham Arkham, the world, in like not even just Fantasy Flight. I think we've seen 1920s a lot. We
That's
love
true.
going there, and I don't think Lovecraft somehow loses its power because a cell phone exists.
I don't know. If you
But
have good
I'm so
signal.
excited about this.
Yeah, I still think it's pretty cool. I'm interested to see what 50s Arkham is like. And then, yeah, they announced the next cycle, right?
Well, no, this
or it's
is
just a
the
repackaging.
packaging of the Dunwich Legacy.
Which, by the way, I just want to say in the stream, official Fantasy Flight person pronounced it Dunwich. So anyone who ever commented and got mad at either of us for saying Dunwich in an old video, get mad at them too. Go on.
Anyways, this is easy way to get all the cards from that cycle. I mean, as of now, I'm a huge fan of this because I just think it's so much easier. Like, it's fine to have the scenario packs because they're special, but like for whole cycles, just so I don't have to have like missing the third pack. So I'm happy that they're going back and doing this.
Yeah. Now, next up, more LCG news. This is a big one. So Lord of the Rings, the card game, has been around forever, but it had kind of been on hiatus. That was their official term.
Break, hiatus. They did not say ending.
So now they've announced, you'll see if you're watching the video, a revised core set, which now out of the box supports between 1 and 4 players, has mostly old content with some new stuff that if you have the old game, you'll be able to print online for free. I mean, I guess you would have to pay to print it somewhere, but they will give you access to those cards if you don't want to buy the new set.
Yeah.
I don't know how, they're not like going to ship them to you, but
I know. Knowing the person I know who collects these, I'm guessing he's going to buy the box. But one point that I really love, and that this box is one box plays for 4 people.
Yeah.
Very nice. You don't need to buy multiple core sets.
I think they finally learned their lesson. Like they know what people like, and they showed off also some of the, they're going to repackage some of the older content.
Not all of it though, so we'll have to see how that goes. And I'm sure it's also based on sales. They also brought up a scenario pack, the Dark of Mirkwood. This was actually part of a promo 2-player pack. I think it was that online thing or something. So now they're having official cards of that. So it's nice that they're bringing these into the regular, more accessible.
I have to say, honestly, I know I'm not the guy who gets as into the collecting thing, but seeing this new revised core set, I like Lord of the Rings. And even though we have a friend who has all the cards, kind of makes me, I think maybe got me. I kind of want to pick up this core set. It's kind of nice.
I think
it's a jumping on point.
Going back to the Arkham thing, the fact that you only had to buy a box every now and then.
Yeah.
Versus
having to, deal with metas or whatever is going on.
Metas just hunting down you're like, am I missing one? Oh, I'm missing
So it's cool that they're keeping that alive and doing more stuff with it. And then, of course, Marvel Champions.
This is where you take it.
So they showed off the Vision Hero pack. Now, I can't keep track anymore if it just leaked. I think it leaked a long time ago that Vision was coming, but now it is official. We're getting Vision.
I mean, to be fair, if you saw the Wanda pack, you probably assumed Vision was coming.
Yeah, and they talked a little bit about its mechanics. I don't think we need to get into it too much. The bigger announcement, which I had not heard anything about, is Sinister Motives, Spiderverse themed, and there's going to be, just like when the Guardians box came out, they had Guardians stuff packs individually come after. There's going to be a whole line of Spider-Verse stuff. This one includes Ghost Spider, or Spider-Gwen, as I remember her, and Miles Morales as heroes. And then, of course, the Sinister Six. You got Venom's, Doc Ock, Sandman's in there. I mean, just when, what did I say, like 2 weeks ago or a month ago, like, I'm kind of slowing down on the Marvel Champions. They're like, nah, you're not getting out that easy.
Well, that's because it's your favorite group of heroes.
Yeah.
And it's not the Vision where it's the buy pack. It's the here's a campaign.
Yeah. I mean, it looks really cool. I mean, I'm very excited to play as those characters and against those villains. So that's a fun one. Now, there's gotten some weirder stuff here. So they talked about Twilight Imperium and Android, a thing we really would love to hear them talk about more, but not about new games, but adaptations of those products. Specifically, there's going to be a graphic novel based in the Android universe.
Same people of Simon.
Oh, okay. And Twilight Imperium also having like spin-off stories and things. So again, just like with the Terranoth thing, I have to imagine they have Android games in the works. Otherwise, why would they bother having a spin-off comic about it?
This one I'm not as I don't know why. I feel like there was something else they released that was Android Netrunner-y and nothing came from it.
It's got to have some. I just don't know what benefit it is if it's got to tie into something. I don't know. That's
I will say,
my
based
thought.
on the pictures we can see, if you can scroll down really quick, it's my favorite hacker who seems to be taking part, who has the stuffed dinosaur toy. That's her like signature.
I love my favorite hacker, classic TV show. And then they also announced merch. So they're going to be selling merch for some of their games, Arkham Horror, Legends of the Five Rings, and I think Twilight Imperium was the other one that they mentioned.
Yes.
So I think that's cool. So yeah, I'm all for it.
I'll have to,
I'll buy a Cosmic Encounter shirt.
I need to see the merch first.
When they announce that one? Yeah. And then, nowadays we have to have a one more thing. And their one more thing was they finally announced the Star Wars Outer Rim expansion called Unfinished Business. Great timing because the insert company eRaptor sent us some stuff, and I put together and reviewed their Outer Rim insert. And in that video, which went up like 2 weeks ago, I said, keep in mind, if Fantasy Flight ever announces an expansion and you buy this, it will be obsolete. You won't be able to fit it in here. And lo and behold, I hope nobody bought that thing because of my video, because you're out of luck now. But they gave no info about it. They didn't tell us a date. They didn't tell us what's going to be in it, just this box art. But everyone's been waiting for it, so they threw us a bone on that, I guess.
Most of the reactions I've seen online, like just through Twitter scrolling really quick, were about this. I saw maybe a couple of things, but this is the big one. Which is to show you.
It's funny because
people like this game.
Yeah, they mentioned it was 0.2% of the whole presentation, but this was the biggest new thing.
Because it's the same thing with Descent. You save the thing that everyone wants to talk about and don't say anything about it because now we're talking about it.
Yeah. So that's going to be the Fantasy Flight output this year. We didn't get, sometimes they'll drop like a big new title. We don't really have that, anything like new, original.
Yeah, and they talked a little bit about it, I think mostly with KeyForge, maybe, if I recall correctly. But, we say it in everything that's been happening recently, how like shipping delays and things like that. So it's a little bit harder. The fact that we're getting all this is still pretty good. Anyone who's an LCG fan is mostly getting a boon, except for the Game of Thrones fans. I'm sorry. Star Wars Outer Rim, this has been one.
Hey, they talked about Game of Thrones Betwixt.
Well, yes, you get Betwixt. That's true. I forgot about that.
There were a few old things too they mentioned that are old news, like Unfathomable, which is coming out. Hopefully, that also got delayed, they said, because of the shipping stuff. But
no, that was Deep Ones, I thought.
Right, Deep Ones got involved. But overall, yeah, not anything that's like super impressive, but stuff I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it's almost like it's not the oh my god, this new crazy thing. It's the finally, thank you.
It's reliable content that will satisfy me. If not something that will really blow me away, it's like, yeah, I expected it, but it's cool. You're
happy that you're happy confirmation at least.
Yeah. So that's our take on the Fantasy Flight in-flight report. We haven't even hit the show floor yet. There's a lot of Gen Con still to come. And if you're not at the show, or if you are, you're going to want to stay tuned to hear everything we talk about. We're going to have more of these podcast episodes, and we're going to have more stuff on YouTube. And if you are a patron on our Patreon page, we're going to have exclusive photo recaps, as well as some extra video versions of things we're planning right now that you won't get if you're not a patron. Just the $1 level is all you're going to need for that Gen Con stuff. Go to our website. We'll put a link to find all of that this week.
Yep. And of course, there are plenty of other goodies besides Gen Con stuff for that. So definitely check it out. Mm-hmm. And we hope you enjoy all our Gen Con stuff. And if you are at Gen Con, we'd love to say hi.
Come say hi. Mm-hmm. Come say hi specifically to me, Jonathan.
Yes.
And you, Will?
Yeah, I'll take the highs too. If you just want to say hi to Jonathan too. All right, I'm dragging that out way too long. You can tell.
That was me trying to segue to a sign off, but he didn't pick up on it.
No, that's what I'm trying to do now. But now that you said that,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
We're very tired. Thank you for watching. I'm Will.
I'm Jonathan.
And this has been Roll for Crit at Gen Con 2021.
Thank you for watching this whole video. It means a lot. If you want to help support us more, of course, you can simply just click that like and subscribe down there. You can go to our Patreon or visit our merch store. Fun fact, if you're at the high roller tier in our Patreon, you actually get a discount for some of the awesome merch we have in our store. So check both out.